Good day everyone, my name is Stephanie Ijomala and I'm the first reporter. So now we're going to discuss the Assure model. So what is the Assure model? So first we're going to the Assure model. It is just a acronym, and this is the A for analyze learners, and S for the state objectives, and S select methods, and U utilize methods, R for require learners participation, and E for evaluation student performance. But I'm just going to discuss the ASS. So the analyze learners, state objectives, select methods, and yeah, that's the three. So before we're going to start of my part is we're going to discuss what is the Assure model. So Assure model, it is the guide or the crafting and instructional flow that can guide the teacher in integrating appropriate technology and media into the instructional process. It also refers to a systematic approach that the teacher can use when writing an instructional plan. So now let's proceed to my part. So the first is the analyzed learner. So when we say analyzed learner, it is the center of instructional process. The initial consideration is to get a clear picture of the learner's learning style, age level, interest or preference, background, special needs, and cultural diversity. So that is analyzed learner. So that is analyzed learners. The teacher must know what their age, background, and interest, so that the teacher are aware for the teaching strategies. Next is the state objectives. So this is the state objectives. So state objectives, this is the main instruction guide that will direct the flow to reach the target, known as the learning outcome expected of the lesson. This statement describes what the learner would be able to perform as a result of the instruction. So the state objectives, it is the guide of the teacher where the flow or the target that they want to achieve and the student outcome. So that is the state objective. So before we're going to demonstrate or to teach student, we should have a lesson plan. Then the lesson plan has a objective, which is the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. And that's all for the state objectives. So next is the select methods, media, and materials. So what is the select methods and media materials? So here is a definition of the select methods, media, and materials. So selecting the appropriate way of delivering the lessons and using the applicable media or technology can effectively make learners acquire understanding of the lesson or gain the competence desired. The teacher has to decide which strategy, materials, or technology would be the best considering the learners and the desired learning outcomes. So the select methods, media, and materials, it is very important for the teacher. Why? Because it is the tool or the materials that they're going to use um to considering the desired learning outcomes. And yeah, that is the select methods, media, and materials. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening and watching. So the second reporter would be Arsima Castiri.
So, good day everyone. Now that the first presenter has explained the overview of the Azure model, so I will now continue the discussion. So, I will be focusing on the next steps, which is the utilize method, media, and materials, required learner participation, and last, evaluate and revise. So these steps are important because they guide the teacher in planning effective and organized instruction. So I hope you are ready to listen to my discussion. So, okay, the fourth step is where you develop your plan for implementing your media and materials. So, if you decide to use an electronic equipment, be sure to use it before, even practice it if you have to, just to ensure the equipment is functioning properly. So, to get the maximum learning impact from your presentation, you must follow this routine. So, can we guys read it together? Okay, the utilization procedure. So that's right. Thank you. So for the number one, preview the materials. So no instructional material should be used blind. So for the number two, after you preview the materials, you practice your presentation. And then after that, you prepare the environment. And last, number five, which is present the material. So are you guys learning about the step four? Okay, that's good. So now let's proceed to the step 5. So required learner participation. So can you guys read it together? Okay, thank you so much. So step 5 required learner participation is required you to describe how you are going to get each learner actively, individually involved in the lesson. So this step means the teacher makes students actively participate in the lesson by doing activities on their own or with a little guidance. So they learn to take the responsibility for their learning. An example is after you teach them the alphabet, you ask them to practice writing the letters on their own in their notebook. Then you just gonna guide them when it's needed. So that's the example of fifth step. So are we guys learning? Okay, that's good. So for the last step, which is the evaluate and revise, can we read it together? Okay, thank you so much. So for the last step here, the evaluation should be mass the objective. Ultimately, the last stage is more important. So you must evaluate the instructions process from the start to finish using the objective you created in the beginning. So here we're checking what the students actually learn. So the big rule is to make sure the test fits the lesson. So an example is if you taught them how to cook, you watch them to cook instead of just giving a written quiz. So it's all about picking the right tool, whether that's a quick test or a project to see if they really got the lesson. So are we guys learning? Okay, that's good to hear. So in conclusion, can we guys read it together? Okay, thank you so much. So in short, the Azure model is basically common sense. So but having a clear plans helps you become a much better teachers. So no one becomes a pro at teaching overnight. So using this guide can help you to keep growing and improve your skills year after year. So that's the Azure model. So thank you guys.
Good morning, everyone. Now I'm going to discuss with you is about models of technology that enhance the learner. Can you please read the number one? Thank you so much. Now I'm going to first discuss the shift in learner rules. First, before the student only receive and listening the information. Now it's different in a way. The students are more actively in and involving in the learning because of the modern technology. Now, this modern technology has the four rules. The first learner rules. First, the contributor. Students share files like videos, audio, documents, as much because we have a different technology in this 21st century. We learners, we adapt and we make our task easily to do because of the technology. Which is the communicator. Students share ideas using blogs, wikis, or online meetings. We students, we can share our ideas in a different way using our technology. It makes us easy access to share our ideas and thoughts and what we really want to post in the social media. Number 3. agree? Alright, thank you. The next number three is the collaborator. Students work together in a different group or even in the online discussion. As for example, student will go to the Zoom in, they will join and share and collaborate with the different people around the world. That's rules of modern learners. We have the last one, the creator. Student can create their own work in a digital platform in a different using different technologies as much for example as student we may create a e-portfolio. That's what we call creator. In short, students not just listening, but they create, share, and work together to have a good output. That's one which is the strategic using of technology. Technology is very helpful, but it should be used the right way. Because if you're going to use it in a different way, that maybe cause something to other people or towards yourself, it's technology, what we call engagement versus learning. Technology can make lesson fun, but the main goal is still the learning, not just the fun, but it's how to use the technology properly to engage the student in learning and understanding the lesson. Number two, teacher role. Teacher must choose the right tools and use properly in the lesson. As we future teacher, we must choose the right tool to engage the student and hook their attention for us to be able to deliver the lesson in the proper manner and understandable way. To proceed about the practical tools that student can use. First one is about the mobile device. Can you please read? Thank you. Phones and tablets for easy access to learning anytime. As student, if we have this gadget, we can easily use and connect in our class, and also the student can easily access different activities that are going to post in the Google Classroom, in the Zoom meeting by using mobile devices. Next one is about the blogs. Blogs with Piha. Blogs website where students can write and share their ideas. For example, as student, we can share our thoughts, what we really saw in the different areas, scenarios that are happening in our present day. We students, we can easily access and share it as the way of using technology, using our blog. Next one is the teaching thoughts 100 things. Dito, 100 things because the teacher guide gives many ways for students to show that what they have learned inside of the classroom by integrating the technology and the guidance of the teacher how to use it properly for them to be able to use that in the right track and guide them to have a good access and how to know the policy of using technology. Teacher are the guided the student.
Good day to each and everyone. I am Clea Kirsten Inahas, and today let's talk about the different types of blog. So, the first that we have here is decoration. It is a type of blog by collecting posts from different websites. So, say for example, top 10 funny videos this week. So, you can either pick some of the videos in YouTube, some videos in Facebook, and even TikTok. And for the second one is the teaching. So this type of blog explains how to do an e-portfolio, how to solve a mathematical equations in algebra, and it is providing some instructions and even examples for you to understand very well. Do your class follow? Okay. The third that we have here is the lifestyle. So when we hear the word lifestyle, what comes into our mind is all about physical activities. It is all about our physical fitness. So
It can be our daily routines, our favorite foods, and even weekend activities. And for the fourth one, we have here the niche. It is all about gaming, giving some tips, and even updates from a particular game. And for the last one is the guest. So for the guest, it is all about a class blog, which which is the different student can take turns writing posts every week. So do you understand? Very good. So we have here examples of educational blogging. So first that we have here is the reflect on reading. So after reading a story, a student writes, say for example, I learned that honesty is important because the main character faced problem after lying. So the student have reflection after reading a narrative. So next that we have here is the picture prompt. So when we hear the word picture prompt, a teacher shows a picture of a beach and student writes a short story about a lost treasure found there. So the third that we have is the stat, wherein students are given a graph about climate change and they write what the data means in their words. So the fourth and lastly is the dream on. So a student pretends to visit Japan and writes about the food, culture, and places they experience. If you are learning something from me, give yourself a 3 claps. Very good. So let's proceed with the last discussion, the examples of blog mistake. So first that we have here is misspellings and grammar errors. So this, say for example, this is my blog about food and it looks very unprofessional because you are adding too many letters on a sentences or on the sentence. Then the next that we have here is content makes little sense. So, say for example, I like food. Food is nice. Many food exists. This has no clear idea. So, don't go for implicit ideas. So, broaden the ideas that you have then or express what your ideas on the food so that other people have also their ideas that what is food is all about. And then for third one is the crummy and boring titles. So look for catchy titles, make your titles appealing to everyone so they will get interest on your blog. And the fourth one is the missing internal link. So this is very crucial because say for example you are creating or a blog about healthy food and it doesn't link to its own post about healthy exercise tips. So don't don't miss about the internal links. So the fifth one is too many external links. So every sentence has links sending readers to other websites. So don't confuse your viewers. Do not put too many links. Understand? Okay, very good. Lastly, we have the no social media icons. Readers want to share the blog but can't find any share button, especially if you are into private account that or you have no idea how to make it public so other people can share your post, your blog, and other people can view your blog. So it's better that if you are going to create a blog, you need to at least allow the public viewers so that they can also view what your blog is all about. So, in summary, blogs come in different types depending on their purpose, such as sharing information, teaching, or documenting experiences. In terms of education, blogging helps students to think critically, be creative, and express their ideas. Technology also allows collaboration through online tools like video conferencing. However, effective blogging requires avoiding common mistakes like poor grammar, unclear content, and even weak titles. Overall, blogging is a powerful tool for learning, communication, and sharing ideas when used properly. So that's all. I hope you understand and learn something from me.